History easily recalls the heavy infantry of Rome and the vast cavalry of the Mongols. We document their expanding borders, the kings they defeated, and the massive land empires cracking under the weight of their own violent conquests. Yet for centuries, the narrative of medieval power has contained a massive blind spot. The vast, turbulent expanse of the Indian Ocean was largely treated as empty space, a silent stretch of water simply waiting for European galleons to arrive. Operating within that supposed void was a maritime superpower highly capable of projecting force. They possessed the naval technology, the wealth, and the logistical reach to dictate terms to entire coastlines. The fact that this empire rarely appears in a standard Western curriculum reveals a flaw in how we record global history. We focus heavily on the landmasses we know, ignoring the waters that quietly controlled the world's wealth. This was the Chola dynasty of southern India. The physical evidence of their rule remains carved deeply into the stone of their ancient capital. Their method of expansion relied on three highly effective pillars: the aggressive monopolization of global trade routes, the precise application of military fire, and absolute control of the deep ocean. While Western kingdoms were fighting regional border skirmishes over small strips of land, the Cholas were actively weaponizing the sea. The origins of this power stem from geography. Looking at this vintage map, the southern tip was shielded from overland invasions. Following the eastern Coromandel coast, we find ports that attracted Roman gold, Arab merchants, and Chinese traders long before the Renaissance. This immense economic engine required a specific leadership to convert raw wealth into military reach. That arrived with Rajaraja Chola, a ruler driven by intense calculation and relentless ambition. Rajaraja recognized a crucial strategic reality. Armies on horseback can only hold land until a larger army arrives, but controlling maritime trade routes holds leverage over multiple kingdoms at once. Under his command, the regional kingdom underwent a massive restructuring. The Chola state redirected its vast resources towards the sea, engineering a complex, outward-facing military apparatus. These heavy, reinforced wooden warships were built to withstand violent monsoon swells and deliver combat troops thousands of miles from home. That fleet was eventually turned against the Rajaraja Empire, the dominant power controlling Southeast Asian straits. This map tracks the immense trajectory of the Chola strike. Launching from southern India, the fleet crossed the open ocean to hit foreign strongholds without warning. The result was an immediate economic collapse. Harbors were burned, trade centers were dismantled, and regional kings forced into submission. With Srivijaya neutralized, the Cholas seized a total monopoly over the Asian maritime corridors. The wealth of the Eastern world now flowed strictly on their terms. Maintaining this grip required endless extraction. Imperial expansion meant continuous military campaigns, forced taxation, and the violent displacement of civilian populations who lived in the path of the Chola war machine. Wealth extracted from conquered territories was funneled into the capital, converted directly into towering architectural monuments. The Brihadiswarar temple is a massive mountain of carved stone. Notice the tiny figures below. Thousands of tons of granite, engineered without modern technology. A structure of this magnitude served a specific political purpose. It was a physical declaration, carved in stone, that the Chola dynasty fully intended to hold its power forever. Eventually, the immense scale of the empire became the mechanism of its own collapse. Administering such a vast, spread-out territory inevitably led to internal friction and fracturing within the ruling dynasty. Simultaneously, global trade routes slowly began to shift. The maritime traffic that once fed the Chola ports moved elsewhere, starving the coastal cities of their primary economic lifeblood. As the treasury emptied, rival land kingdoms capitalized on the weakness. The once mighty Chola navy, unable to be maintained, slowly rotted away, its heavy timbers sinking into the shallow coastal sands. Naval brilliance and granite monuments could not outlast the natural decay of an overextended imperial state. The empire slowly broke apart. The Cholas are largely absent from Western historical narratives, simply because they never crossed paths with Europe. They did not conquer Rome, nor did they threaten London, making it easy for Eurocentric historians to leave them out of the curriculum. Yet the proof of their absolute dominance remains. In the shadowy, twilight courtyards of Tamil Nadu's massive temples, the terrifying scale of their ambition is still visible. Long before the European Age of Discovery, an Indian empire had already mastered the global ocean. They're immortalized in ancient metal, like this bronze deity, representing a highly advanced culture suspended in time. Yet even today, beneath ancient stone carvings and forgotten inscriptions, the ghost of the Chola Empire still survives, not as ruins, but as proof that long before Europe ruled the seas, an Indian empire once commanded the ocean itself, and for a brief moment in history, the world feared the Cholas.